Let's get started. Welcome back, everybody, to the next mission. After our last one, we will start, as always, with a little recap of the last sesh. So last mission picked up after we had just ended Jackson Resender and his demon incursion as he was trying to summon the archdemon Lord Gratz back into the world of Yarn, who we found out was kind of his patron and the kind of evil mastermind pulling the strings all along. After kind of destroying Gratz, or at least sending him back to the plane with which he came, killing Jackson, first thing y'all did was went and found Celeste, Rowena's sister, who was being kind of hidden and trapped, who was originally meant to be used for this ritual to summon the demon. But you're able to stop that, rescue her. She was a little shaken, scared, but you were able to bring her back up to the surface. As you were going back up to the surface, Supervisor Ormond, who had revealed herself to actually be an ancient gold dragon named Marios, had basically stopped you and said, well, don't go far yet, because I've got some more things we need to discuss. She essentially shared that she wanted her medallion back, and also insisted that now that she came to your aid, that when she calls on you next time, you will be available to do that. She also took some time to kind of answer some questions and share a little bit more about what the Erzatsarai were really about, to see if mostly she could recruit Rowena into their fold. What you discovered was, one, Dent's memory had somehow been programmed not to remember these key points. And Amerio / Ormond, they went into Dent's mind and removed the blocks that were stopping kind of the origin story from coming out of the Erzatsarai. And what you discovered was the Erzatsarai are also this fake organization, and they've created this lie to their cult that the gods don't exist, mostly to spark devotion and zealotry in their people, and also kind of make it clear they needed to keep themselves secret. And really what their point was is, as soon as the gods came down and raised the islands, Amerios discovered pretty quickly they weren't going to be strong enough to actually hold it up forever. And so the Erzatsarai were created to make these world spikes, these magical things that would then... Oh, that was weird. Oh, okay. I was like, where'd that come from? That would then hold the island in place and kind of supplement the gods' power. But the gods were clearly weakened. Amerio shared that with all of you, and then before y'all left, she kind of gave each one of you different pieces of advice. For Dent, she strongly suggested he go after Smoke and not let him go down this path of self-destruction and also vengeance, I guess, against the Erzatsarai. She suggested that for Zunis and Thad, perhaps trying to connect with the gods won't give them the answers they want, and maybe they should just meet her back in Lothanostra, the capital, to see if they could, put some damage control on this demon incursion they had spawned. For Rowena, she really tried to recruit you into the folds of the Erzatsarai, seeing that some of your skills could fit in there well. You denied her for the moment. There was some up in the air moments where we weren't entirely certain where that was going to go. And then as, your airship piloted by Truna pulled overhead, she handed a letter to Ivo and said, you should be more careful with what you send out in the world. Ivo, not thinking anything of it, kind of pocketed the letter. Y'all went up to the airship, Celeste in tow. She decided she didn't want to kind of stay behind in the ruined estate, and got up in the airship, and y'all kind of convened there for a bit. Ivo was about to be like, deuce, I'm tired, I'm going to go to sleep. And instead, before he went to sleep, he read this letter and ran back up to the deck to kind of shout and scream as to what he'd found. While he came back up to the deck, he noticed that a new person, a kind of silver-haired wood elf, was instead piloting the ship and introducing herself to the party. This was actually the new pilot that Truna had hired after Truna had kind of ridiculed all of you for hiring her as a bit of a taxi service, which was not pleased by. She's still expecting recompense eventually and some type of payment. But instead, she handed over the reins and piloting the airship to this new adventurer who joined your party named Lilu, who was apparently a very capable and perhaps sneaky character who is now piloting your ship. Ivo finally revealed what was in the letter after quite a bit of discussion, and he revealed that he had actually sent a letter back from the Temple of the Saviors to a former paramour who he was worried about, just wanted her to know that she was okay and still being thought of. That was intercepted by an old rival named Valdrew, who you had already had some confrontations with, and he was originally helping Lena and Jackson. He is named the Butcher because he's quite brutal, and unfortunately, he seems to have captured this former paramour of Ivo. Ivo, in a panic, not knowing what to do, demanded everyone stop what they're doing, get the pilot moving towards Mirabar, the island where she is, but also, not coincidentally, the island where the Lordless Crown mercenaries are headquartered, and the Lordless Crown are, of course, the former mercenary organization of Ivo. And so we all kind of flew off in that direction after a few days travel, mostly uneventful. But as we kind of got closer to Mirabar, you noticed in the horizon there were 3 airships approaching you, 2 of which seemed to have black sails, which typically indicates some type of illegal action, likely piracy. One had a symbol that you sort of recognize or not sure. You believe it to be the rival Thieves Guild or a separate Thieves Guild known as the Coromir, which you've had some slight interactions with in the past. And that's where we'll pick up today, as y'all are in the air in your airship heading towards Mirabar. 3 airships are on the horizon. They seem to be moving to intercept you and stopping your path towards Mirabar. They seem hostile at this point, maybe about 600 yards off in the distance, at most a quarter mile. What would y'all like to do?
First of all, DM, great usage of the word paramour. It's not always brought into the conversation, so kudos.
You're welcome. You're welcome, friend.
I forget, we all, from where we left off, we all were kind of, I guess, on top of deck. We're all kind of there seeing this, right? Was anyone below? I can't remember if we were, like, sleeping or shifts or taking sleeping shifts.
Oh, great question. I think at this point everyone had woken up. It was not like early morning, maybe a little bit afternoon, like 1 p.m. You'd been traveling for a while. This was the last leg of your 3-day journey towards Mirabar from Wadep. It's not very far, but everyone at this point is up. If everyone would like to be above deck, you can be above deck. Really, at this point, you can be wherever on the ship you feel best for your character.
And then what are the weather conditions like? Is it a cloudy day? Are there a lot of clouds up there? Is it windy?
It is cloudy, not very windy, very clear skies. I shouldn't say clear skies, very clear weather. There are clouds, nice big fluffy clouds, but nothing that seems ominous or dangerous. You do notice as you've gone this further, like northern in the area of Yaren, it is much colder. And you know that to be true. Mirabar is a very cold place, lots of ice, lots of snow. Very rocky and mountainous.
Lilu, at the risk of sounding, I know you're a very experienced pilot, as we established last time, but have you ever experienced anything like this where you've flown directly into 3 other ships? Should we make a U-turn? Can you navigate around them? I'm scared myself as a humble seaman.
I think I have a question.
Yeah.
How fast is the ship we're on?
This ship is very fast, even for you who's like an experienced pilot. This ship is faster than any other ship you've flown. It's a little bit smaller than most of the other ones you've flown, and given your previous experience, you're very used to like modifying the ships that you fly to maybe increase cargo hold or do certain things. But this one, made specifically by your friend Truna, is built for speed. Built for maneuverability.
And then the ships that are coming toward us, are they larger and slower, or are they also fast ships?
Yeah, they do seem to be traditional kind of airships. They're relatively large. You notice actually a couple of them even have propellers, which is kind of old school. So they do seem to be repurposed. They are quite large. And you would definitely know this. The black flags indicate piracy. These ships are coming at you. You have also run into the Coromir a couple times, which is kind of a thieving illegal organization. They're not necessarily like hostile always, but they'll rob people without qualms. It's really more the black sails that have you concerned. When you've seen pirates, typically what they do, they don't care about their ships necessarily being fast. They want them big because they want to fit more guns and weaponry on them.
Then to answer the original question I was given, never flown directly into 3 ships before.
Got it. Do you feel confident about it? I mean,
It's a fast ship, and those are slower. It might be easy to maneuver around them.
Yeah.
I like the sound of that. Lilu, what kind of you want to take the wheel here and see what kind of moves you can make?
Yeah.
Up here, guys.
Describe them.
DM, may I ask a question as well?
Yeah, of course.
May I roll a history check to see my history with the Koromir?
Yes, roll a history check. It's going to be a little high DC because they're not super well known, but you do know a little bit about them, so we'll see what you get.
Okay.
Yeah, not much. You really only remember your previous experience with the Coromir from Renaya and Crag, the two people you met in the cells underneath Tharvan in Searle.
Oh, were they with?
Say that again. You cut out there at the end.
Were they with?
Oh no, you still cut out. That was weird.
Anna said, "Were they with the Koromir?"
Oh yes, yes.
DM, would Ivo suspect that this thieves guild or the pirates at all be working with the butcher and Lord of the Lordless Crown, or is it just happenstance that they are coming at us?
Roll a history check. You feel confident they wouldn't be. It's very odd if they would be, because the Lordless Crown are mercenaries. They're not going to hire other mercenaries. It would be very odd if another group was hired to do this. It's not impossible. You got a 16. The only time you've ever heard of that happening is if there was some type of conflict within the Lordless Crown.
Clayton, not Clayton. I'm so sorry. Ivo. What do you think of the idea? Because we're going after this bad guy. I mean, what do you say we intercept these pirate-esque people and we hire them to help us, kick some ass?
Do
money.
you have a plethora of money to throw at these pirates to sway them to our side?
I'm a robot for Bitcoin, of course. Do I have a plethora of money? Let me check. I mean, the obvious answer is I kind of doubt it, but let me kind of briefly look.
Let me ask you a follow-up question. Do you know how much money is needed to buy pirates to be on our side?
Well, what if we could offer them like the promise of future money, or perhaps a robot dog?
Last I checked, you weren't willing to work with anybody.
That's true.
Lilu, while this is happening, can you roll a perception check for me?
Yes.
Nice. Okay, so these ships are now getting really pretty close to you. One of them, they've started to form a little bit of a formation where they're almost at like an angled slant, almost to like create 3 layers of airship between you and Mirabar. The one closest to you now has started to kind of turn, so its starboard side is facing you, and it's kind of moving in a sideways motion closer to you. You recognize that movement as it's getting ready to fire. It's probably got another minute or 2 before it's in range, and you haven't changed heading yet, so you're still heading toward it.
We gotta make a decision now, guys.
I say let's book it. We got a fast ship. Let's run it.
Yep, I agree.
Okay.
All right. Let's do it. Punch it.
So we're going to do a little bit of a skill challenge here to see if we can do that. So just a quick reminder, a skill challenge is when I'll each have you kind of roll to kind of choose a certain skill that you think you can use to get this challenge accomplished. So you're trying to outrun this thing. I would like everyone to roll initiative for me.
Ooh. There. You're +3.
Oh.
Go.
All right, let's see what we got here. Insert creatures party from campaign. You're in. Get Lilu in there. Insert party.
Kind of interesting seeing Bernie's folding methods for his laundry.
I'm just waiting for Bernie's underwear to pop up on the screen.
My what? My underwear? This is mostly Jude's laundry.
Wait, DM, are you rolling for Thad too, or is he?
I'm rolling for Thad too.
Okay.
Although I guess he could just be below deck and like passed out, but you know, it's whatever.
Well, I didn't know. He might have celebrated the fact that we're on an airship. He might have gotten stoked about that.
Well, I'll leave it up to the players here. Do you want Thad to be a part of this, or do you want Thad to just be like conked out drunk underneath deck right now?
I don't like having him be a part of it because I like asking him stuff like last week when I had to ask him to do it.
I like character Thad more than the real Thad.
Aw.
I'm just going.
Okay, we're just gonna put those over that way, over yonder. Okay, so let's see what we got for our initiative rolls. Ivo got a 21, nice job. And then Rowena got a 5, not so nice job, but it's all right. It's just initiative. Zunis didn't do great at all, 1. And then Dent, did you roll initiative? Did I just? Oh, there you are, 13.
13.
And then Lilu got a 22. Nice. Okay. So that'll actually have Lilu go first, and Thad is going to be right behind her. So Lilu, this is your first skill challenge. It's a little different than combat when we know they roll initiative. Basically what that is like you look at your skill list and you think about like what you're good at. And then you try to apply it to something you think you want to do. So for an example, let's say, you're good at, let's say you're proficient in stealth as an example. I want to see if maybe I can try to like get the ship behind some clouds in a certain way to see if I can kind of hide. So I'll have you roll a stealth check. Or you might say, hey, like I'm really just going to try and steer this ship as good as I can. I'm proficient in vehicles, so I'll just have you roll a d20 and add a bonus to it. You basically get to choose your own adventure here and decide what you're good at and then flavor it how you want to get past it.
Okay.
And then, of course, if you have any questions, as usual, feel free to ask or recommendations.
I mean, in this case, you want to basically try to.
Yeah. I mean, you said the thing about the clouds, but as you were saying that, that's what I was thinking.
Sure, that's all good.
About using that to hide behind a cloud.
Yeah, no stress.
Okay, so I rolled a stealth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Actually, that's right now. It is enough to succeed. So you kind of do a hard turn to port there, get your ship kind of turn, and you actually kind of turn and then go down just a little bit, lose a little bit of altitude just to get underneath the cloud. You've successfully turned the ship now, which is good. And you're kind of starting to make a different heading away from this. And you do notice you're starting to pull away. The ship is quite a bit faster. So that'll end your turn and bring us to Thad. So let's see what our friend Thad does. Thad is, in fact, a little bit drunk. And he is now a little bit drunk and scared, never really being on an airship before. Well, not like an airship where he had pirates attacking. So he's just going to pray a little prayer to helm. And do a little religion check to see what happens. Okay. You got a natural one. So as he's like praying, he's like, helm, man, now's the time. Come through, helm. And he just voms all over the place. So he's like throwing up on the deck. His prayers are clearly not going heard. And as it happens, you hear... And you see from the pirate ship that was starting to turn, what looks to be like a metal glint come towards your craft. And it lands right on the deck, and you kind of see what it is. It's actually the giant harpoon, like a grappling hook. And as soon as it lands, it cracks the wood just a little bit, and then it suddenly just goes taut and starts grabbing a piece of the edge again. Your boat is still, your airship's still strong enough to kind of hold off. One rope doesn't seem to be enough. but it looks like the strategy here is to try to actually stop you and anchor you. So that'll end Thad's turn and bring us now to Ivo.
Well, I'm gonna have to deal with that grappling hook. So I guess I want to detach it either if I think I can use just my hands and pull it off. I'd imagine it's in there pretty good, right? You said it's.
Oh yeah, it's like really wedged in. You could try and pull it off. Just depends on the throw you're trying to do, you know.
And then it's attached. It's a rope, just like it looks like a standard rope attached to it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it's thick, but yeah, it does look like it's a fibrous rope.
It's not like steel or anything like that.
No.
Okay, I think then I'm actually, instead of trying to pull it out, because I think that might be difficult, I'm going to take my Shatter Spike and try to chop the rope to detach it.
So on that, go ahead and roll a, we're going to do an athletics check. I'm going to give you advantage, though, because Shatter Spike has advantage against objects. Because it's meant to, like, break, inanimate things.
Whoops. I rolled again. Well, that was pretty good.
Nice. Yeah, great. So you like just cleave through it and you can feel like Shatter Spike almost like brimming with energy because it loves taking out fake things. And the rope just snaps, kind of harpoon still stays into the thing because it's lodged, but the rope just kind of goes away. And you actually see as that happens, another harpoon comes. But because you broke the rope just in time, your ship kind of lurches off to the side and the other harpoon misses. All right, so 2 successes, 1 failure so far. I'm not telling you how many you need to get out of this, but it is now Dent's turn.
All right. So what I'm thinking is we need intelligence to figure out a way to make the ship go faster away from them. So
Okay.
roll an intelligence check.
You're trying to figure out how to do that?
Yes. Is that versus like...
I will let you either roll a history check or an arcana check to see if you can figure out how airships work.
Okay, history or arcana. Go history. Okay.
Okay, yeah, nice. All right, so you actually do know a little bit of like some of the magics. You can kind of sense the crystal that Truna installed at the rear of the ship, at the bow of the ship, to get it to kind of power itself. And you actually pump a little bit of your own arcane energy into it. And you're like, I'm pretty sure this will work. And it's almost the equivalent of like, that scene from Fast and the Furious where they turn on the NOS and the boat just goes and has like a quick little push forward. And again, as you do that, you see another. Now you see other ships starting to try and move in front of you, trying to block your entrance. The one that was firing on you stays where it was, still trying to get a hit off you. The one that doesn't have the black sails, it has the Coromir ship, seems like it's moving a little bit faster, and it's moving in line with you. Looks like it's trying to intercept at this point. But as of this point, you are still seeming able to get away from it and possibly gaining some ground. That'll bring us to Rowena.
Okay. So how many harpoons are in the airship?
Say that one more time.
How many harpoons are there in the deck of the airship?
Right now, there's only one, but the rope has been cut, so there's nothing actually holding you to the pirate ship right now. It seems like you've been able to get past it.
And how close is the pirate ship to us?
The one that's firing on you is probably the closest. I would say at this point it's maybe 200 yards away, but it's not fast enough to keep up with you, and it's kind of stayed put to try to fire. So that's the closest one. The other ones are maybe still about 300, 400 yards away.
Okay, so I'll tell you the things I was thinking. First, I was thinking, well, it seems like we definitely want to get away from these guys, so I probably shouldn't do this, and 200 yards is too far, but I was thinking that I could use acrobatics to flip over onto their ship and see what was going on. And then my second thing was using sleight of hand or thieves' tools somehow to rig up something, either to shoot back at them or to make our deck more impenetrable.
If you wanted to see what was going on, I would have you do a perception check. You can maybe get a view on top of their deck and see if you recognize or notice anything. And if you still have the eagle eyes that Ivo gave you, I'd give you advantage on that. I don't know if you still have them or if you gave them back though.
Do we know if our ship has any kind of weaponry on it, like advanced weaponry for this type of war?
Other than the harpoon ballista that are firing at you, you can't tell just yet.
I don't see that I have the eagle eyes. But...
No, I still have it.
You have okay. So if you want to do a perception check, we'll see where you end up.
I know I might want to do something more proactive. Can I? I mean, can I shoot at them in a skills challenge?
You can try. I would let you do an attack roll and see. It would be pretty hard to hit them. What's the range on your bow? I think it's only like 150 feet. I don't know if it's going to be.
It's 80 feet.
An army flying away.
Yeah, there is a ballista that's undermounted in the front of your airship. You'd have to kind of like whip it around real quick to get it pointed, at least sort of in the direction of one of them. Although you probably could get a shot off on the Coromir ship because it's trying to like stay in line with you.
Yeah, can I do that? Can I shoot at the Coromir?
Yeah, do me a favor then if you're gonna fire the ballista. Let's have you roll, because it's gonna be an attack roll. Let's have you roll a dexterity check, but add your. No, don't add. Yeah, just a dexterity check. Let's see. You can kind of aim it. Yeah, nice. Just what you needed for that, actually. So you kind of turn around, get it, and the controls are on top, so you're not really looking at where the ballista is. The ballista is underneath. But as you kind of turn, you can hear this as the airship ballista is starting to kind of turn just a little bit. And Lilu helps you out a little bit, too, and just kind of turns in that direction and fires off. And you see this huge, like, just giant crossbow bolt, this ballista bolt, just kind of fire from underneath and just propel towards the Coromir ship. And as it kind of makes way, it actually rips into the mast, and you see it kind of chunks off, and the mast almost just cracks just a little bit and kind of turns down just a smidge. It's not really air powered. The mast is really just holding rigging and things, but it does take like a little bit of damage. And from this distance, you can't really see too much, but you do see some shapes running around, looking like they're trying to prepare either a return fire of some type or are trying to repair the issues that you've caused. That being said, you are just about broken away from this onslaught of pirates. So it's actually going to go back to the top of the round for Lilu. And Lilu, you're just about out of range of all of these things and been able to kind of get through them and kind of pass their blockade. But you've got one more go at this if you'd like to pick something else to do to try to escape.
Can I ask a clarifying question about Athletic? If I'm flying the ship, would that help at all?
It could. Are you trying to like steer the ship really hard in a certain direction that might take some muscle?
Or just like give it some extra oomph to get away?
Yeah, that would be a little bit more of what Dent did with like Arcana or History, although you kind of know because you're proficient in it. So I'd let you roll. I'd probably let you roll an athletics check and add your proficiency bonus to it. So let me look at your character sheet because you're proficient in that vehicle type. So let me see what that would be. Tools. Yeah. Lilu, let's do this. Just roll a d20. You can do that just by clicking on the dice icon on the bottom left.
Okay.
And
roll that.
Perfect. And then we're just going to add your proficiency bonus to that, which is a +3. Oh, nice. Yeah, totally. So you know all of like the levers and things to hit. You know exactly how to turn it, so it really gets out of the headwinds as much as possible. And you just kind of zoom up again in addition to the kind of boost that that Dent already gave you. You are cruising towards Mirabar, and there's no way these other ships can keep up. Y'all are out of range by quite a bit now at this point. And they don't seem to be able to keep up with you, nor are they firing anymore. So you seem relatively safe as if you pass them at this point.
Sounds like nothing could stop us.
And you are now clear of these pirates and the Coromir, it seems, as you head more towards Mirabar.
Do they seem to be? Can we notice at one point they were kind of breaking off, or do they still seem to be pursuing us just from a distance, or is it too hard to tell?
Roll a perception check.
What were your heads at?
Oh, wait, whoops, that was persuasion. I want to re-roll.
That's all right.
Wrong keyword.
Apparently you have advantage on that. Did you roll it with advantage?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because of your eagle eye. It's hard to tell because you're really like moving. It does look as though the pirate ships have stopped, but the Coromir ship is still trying to at least get closer to you.
Okay.
But it doesn't seem as though it's what's the word there? It doesn't seem as though it's able to anyway. But that's the only one that's still pointing in your direction.
Okay.
But off in the distance, not much further to go, maybe less than a mile, which you can cover easily. Maybe been about, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Mira bar kind of looms off in the horizon. That being said, I just want to see how much of this you'll know ahead of time. So, Ivo, can you roll a history check for me? So you're kind of going back to your homeland. And actually, Lilu, you would probably know a little bit too because you've traveled a bit. So can you also roll a history check for me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Ivo, easy peasy. You know a lot about Mirabar. You grew up there. You were essentially born there. You lived there your whole life. Your youth was there. These are really like the old memories that you have. And you do know that there's a few places where you'd be easily able to dock an airship. And maybe some places that not. The thing to know about Mirabar, it's a very small island. It's much further into the north, so it's very cold. It's snow, ice, and like very mountainous, which is odd for the islands. There's not a lot of mountainous islands. This is one of the few. It's almost half like this really giant mountain range known as the Broken Spine Mountains. And those kind of dominate the northwestern end of the island and slowly kind of taper off to the south eastern end of the island where the main city Morgul is. And Morgul, while it's named a city, is really more of just a huge fortress. It's basically where the place of governance is in Mirabar. And while there are, their own set of governors and people that lead it, for the most part, those are just figureheads, and they listen to whatever the crown bearer, the person who leads the Lordless Crown, kind of tells them to do. And so for the most part, the Lordless Crown control all of Mirabar through the capital city of Morgul. Let me get it loaded up, and I'll actually show you a bit of Mirabar, so you can kind of see the island a bit.
I actually don't know a ton about Ivo's youth or past.
You've got you've got some time before you have to land. You've outrun the pirate ships.
Although when he said that you essentially were born there, what does that mean? Essentially, you either were or you weren't.
I was definitely born there. Wait, so what are you asking, Ivo? Zunis?
I was just curious. I don't really know your background. I feel like a bad friend since I've been traveling with you for I just never asked, what's your story in Mirabar? You come from a troubled past? Is that how you ended up with us?
It's where I was born and where I'm from. I had my childhood and my greater youth there. I actually was born into a very nice family, a very nice tiefling family, and we were in a very nice community. It was mostly humans, so we were kind of the only ones there, the only tieflings around. But everyone was overall very accepting and very nice in there. But then a turn of events happened, and I kind of got cast out, and really, since my youth, have only been back maybe once or twice. But it's been some time since I've been back there.
What was the turn of events?
Then Ivo, just so you know, the name of the town you were from is New Blackford.
New Blackford. Let me write that down.
Why were you cast out?
So this town was accepting, right? We were tieflings among humans, and everyone was very hospitable and very nice, and really no other no other issues day to day. No hate crimes, no racism for the most part. But then let's just say that people were accepting when we kept our distance when it came to being part of other people's families. So there was one family and one girl in particular that I was quite fond of, and tried to pursue her. But again, her people were very accepting in the town, but her family was not accepting enough to allow me to be basically a partner to her and in love with her. So her father confronted me, and things got a little heated. And let's just say I, as a youth, a young tiefling, didn't realize that already I was stronger than the average man. And so I hurt the fellow. He's still alive. I didn't kill him, but I definitely hurt him and quite ashamed of it. And this did not look good in the lady that I was in love with to see me beating up her father. So I fled, and I had no other skill or any other way to turn other than to be a mercenary and use my strength for profit.
Your story sounds a lot like Edward Scissorhands.
Just you wait.
Minus the Scissorhands.
I don't feel ashamed. We've all been through stuff like this, and of course our stories are somewhat similar in that aspect. So I think it's good that racist guy got what was coming to him.
Yes. I do too, but it cost me the love of my life, and it was tough because the one time I was back in New Blackford, I ran into this girl, and when she asked me how I'd been and what I'd been doing, I was too ashamed to tell her of all the things I've been doing. I was a mercenary. I was a gun for hire, so let's just say it's not the most glamorous and benevolent past that I had, and I couldn't tell her. So really my mission and kind of what led me to you, Rowena, was trying to be a gun for hire, but not just for killing, but to serve some sort of more nobility or higher purpose. So this way I could be at least a little bit look not just like a killer or a crazy person in her eyes.
I think you've done an admirable job, as we discussed somewhat last time. If anything, I think I'm kind of the ruthless one of the party, killing people. So I think you've been an invaluable part of this adventure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm not casting you out anytime, buddy.
Good to beat you up. You did.
Whoa.
So with that history check that we had last time, again, Ivo, you know just about everything there is to know about Mirabar, which would make sense given it's really where you were raised. Lila, you do know this is the home of the Lordless Crown Mercenaries. Like, they're a huge mercenary organization, the most prevalent one for sure. They also have quite a bit of political clout, given some of the things that happened in their past, where they pretty much invaded the capital, and the only way they could be repelled was the council kind of made a deal with them to let them rule over Mirabar. So on the map, you should be able to see it. For Ivo, you would know again that Morgul is the capital over here in the kind of south, eastern region. It's quite a fortress. It's a city, people live in it for sure, but it's got high walls. The main kind of place of governance is known as Crown Keep, and it is clearly built for defense. It's also built, not the crown, but the city itself is built right onto the cliff edge, in a method to basically support its navy, which is the Lordless Crown's navy, really. And that's on something called the Winter's Breath Skydock. So there is a place to dock there. There would certainly be some concern of the Lordless Crown seeing you coming, but it is a place to dock there. You might be able to speak with who the current crown bearer is, who you think you know, but you're not 100% certain. There is also a small dock in New Blackford. It's meant to be kind of a small launching trading post that actually has one of the few rivers kind of leading from the mountains in. The other places you could try to dock, you could go and dock into the Broken Spine Mountains and try to moor it to a mountainside. But the Broken Spine Mountains, which are really all the way over to the left here, are really challenging. The winds are extreme. The mountains come at a lot of different angles. But you feel like eventually you may need to go there because that's where Ravens Rock is. And Ravens Rock is the official headquarters of the Lordless Crown. So you're not sure where Voldrew would have gone. He likely would have either gone to Morgul or to Ravens Rock. You don't know. The other place you could try is maybe swing over to the far northern place, which is really almost like a permafrost tundra area. There's an old ancient town there called Mira. No one really lives there anymore, but hunter-gatherers typically use it as a settlement or campsite to go into the forests to go hunt and get prey. Go pelting, etc. So there's a few places you could. There's no dock in the last two places I mentioned, either Broken Spine Mountains or Mirar. But you could try and find a place where maybe you could dock the airship and see where you'd want to go through. So kind of up to you. And of course, any other ideas you have, you could try as well. For the rest of the group.
If it was Morgul, what was the name? The Crown, something Crown. Flawless.
The Crown Bearer?
Flawless. Am I on good terms with them? Bad terms?
You're not really on any terms with them necessarily. You're relatively neutral. You've been to Mirabar before on a couple of the missions you've had. And it's a city like any other. You can dock there, you can, request to land, so to speak, find a place just like any other port of entry. There's usually going to be an inspection of some type. People are typically going to stop you and verify that you're not, breaking any laws. What you do know about Morgul and really just the Lordless Crown in general, they're not exactly a disciplined bunch. They're mercenaries. They're not like typical guardsmen. You like Mirabar a lot because it's very easy to bribe people and possibly hide goods that you may need to.
Can I pull the group for where they think is best to go?
Yeah, of course. Well,
we want to go back to New Blackford, where you're from.
I don't think that the butcher is going to be in New Blackford. I feel like he would have captured this woman and taken her somewhere. My guess is actually, wait, I was looking at it. I was looking at the note. I was rereading the letter because I don't think there's any of a hint. It's just that I get told that Voldrew is on Mirabar. Okay, but not specifically any city.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
but
that might be.
Yeah, just Mirabar come home. I don't think that it would be in New Blackford. Is Rowena, is there any way that you could use your thieves network to try to see if anyone on Mirabar has seen Voldrew and maybe know where his whereabouts are?
Yeah, there are two things I could think of. I could call Torm on the Sending Stone, although I think he's far away now, but I could see if he knows of anybody. Or I could just try and make my way to shore where thieves might be gathered.
I feel like maybe that might be best to maybe they're gonna recognize me, but maybe have you and maybe Zunis or Dent would drop you in Morgul and then see if you can find out some information. Because if I show up, they're gonna see me.
Yeah.
How does that sound?
Sounds great. I'm always down for cooperation.
Okay, that's my vote.
And I dredged up my memories of, in case the Coromir does have a chapter on this island, I've dredged up my memories of the 2 Coromir members we ran into, in case that's of any use.
Oh, well. Oh, well.
Thank you. Alright, let's go. Let's drop me off at Morgul.
All right, so you're trying to get into Morgul. All right, so Lilu, can I have you do me a favor? We're going to go ahead and have you just try to land in that side. Are you approaching from any particular side, or are you just going to go straight to the dock, kind of normal, not standing out, or are you trying to be a little more sneaky and kind of not go to the main dock?
Let's be sneaky.
So you do know there's actually a little bit of a space outside the city you think you could probably get an angle on. It does require a little bit more time because you've got to go basically the long way around the island, which is going to add about a day to this. So you're going to arrive kind of late next day. Can I have you do me a favor? I'm going to have you roll a d20, and again, we're going to add 3 to it. That's your proficiency bonus. So roll a d20, and we'll add 3. Nice. All right. So yeah, so you do actually manage to get it. At this point, the crew is actually relatively impressed with your ability to pilot because you find a way through the broken mountains. The winds are intense, but you're able to kind of cut through, you know, just how to balance it out. A few of them start to suspect that you've got a very interesting background and are wondering how you've learned all this at such a young age. But you do manage to kind of stay actually a little bit below kind of the island horizon line. And kind of hover close, so other folks who are on the island would really have a hard time seeing you. And you do find a place to dock on the northern face of the island, maybe about a mile or so away from the Morgul entrance. So let me mark that on the map here. We'll mark it in this teal color. So you've actually ended up right about here, a bit outside the city. And you've attached the airship right to the side of the cliff face, so it's hugging it and kind of anchored to it so it doesn't go far. From there, you could throw some ladders up, and whoever wants to get onto Mira could get up.
Hey.
I'll join.
Great. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah. Is 3 too many? Is that a crowd?
Whatever.
I feel like 3 might be good.
3's company, so come on in.
And Ivo, can you give me the, I forget what they're called, the eagle eyes thing?
Oh yeah, I will pass them over to you.
Thank you.
Eyes of Eagle.
Yeah, that. Great. Are we ashore, DM?
Yes, you are. So you are stepping foot on a new island yet again. You notice a couple of things right away. First, it's freezing. It is cold. It is not currently snowing, but the wind chill is damn near, you know, freezing temperatures. You do notice as you walk, the grass is crunchy with ice. It snows here quite heavily, and on the northern face, it's almost consistently frozen. What's also interesting is directly in front of you, off a ways, but you can kind of hear it and see it. There is a river, the edges of which have started to freeze, but the center of it, while it's wide, is still flowing. But you can see that a river kind of heads towards Morgul. Beyond the river a bit, you were told by Ivo there is a road called Spine Road. It's one of the main roads that leads into Morgul. The challenge with Morgul, it is a walled city. There are only 2 entrances. One is through the Spine Road. The other is through another road that's kind of further to the south, called the Lurkfield Roadway. They are the only 2 entrances that you know of into the city. Technically, with the exception of the river that leads in through like a bit of a sewer system, or at least it goes underneath the wall a bit. But going that way is not recommended because you will likely freeze to death in the water.
Unless we can find a boat. I'd like to check out this river and see if there's some sort of a boat availability, because that seems like the stealthy move.
Sure. So you kind of make way a little bit after maybe about 30, 45 minutes worth of walking. You do go to the shores of the river. It's known as the River Mira. And it was the original river that led to kind of one of the ancient cities that Ivo was talking about. It's got big chunks of ice floating in it. A lot of the shore, actually, it's hard to tell where the ground stops and the ice begins. It's quite a wide river, but it is still flowing in the center. Not cold enough to do that. You don't see any boats in it. You don't see any floating things in it. You don't see fishermen in it. That one is a little bit odd to your senses. You're not exactly sure why. The other challenge is based on you trying to be sneakier. You've come closer into the evening time. So it's now past sunset as you approach this river, and it is getting dangerously cold now.
In general, or like river area?
One more time?
Dangerously in general, or just like the river itself is getting dangerously cold?
It's dangerously cold in general outside. But before I continue on that, it sounded like Zunis had a thought.
Yeah, I was wondering if we kind of stick out as tourists, if we're inappropriately dressed, if it's really cold, and B, if it's very cold, are we not well equipped with what we have on our persons?
Roll a perception check for me.
I was also going to ask a similar question if we see anybody out and about.
Okay. You feel confident. You don't see any other movement out here. You do see lights and a little bit of like dark spots from the walls of the city. So you assume there's some guardsmen that are keeping an eye out. It's likely if you can at least make them out, they can make you out somehow and know that you're there. That's not necessarily alarming, around this. You can see there's some farmland and other homes outside of the walls. So it's not, you don't think it would be unusual that would be movement. To your other question, roll a survival check for me. Yeah, you will freeze to death out here without too much. You need some winter clothes in this space. It's already dark. You've landed. You've basically lost all the heat that you would have kind of reserved in from the airship being warm and the fires aboard. You either need to create a fire right now and bunk down here, or you need to get into the city where there is going to be warmth and shelter within probably the next hour, or it is likely you'll start feeling some adverse effects.
Dent, I think we have to turn around and head back directly to the city then.
You're right, Rowena. Let's do it.
Yeah, the fire seems like a very temporary fix.
So your first challenge then is going to be somehow getting across the river, because the river is blocking you and the road.
I have that I can use if I can somehow tie it to something on the other side.
Go for it, Zunis.
Does Zunis, with his underwater capabilities, have the ability to, be able to withstand these kind of temperatures because he's lived underwater so deep?
That's actually a good question. Let me find out. I don't know offhand, but I will double check. I'm certain you can swim it without too much problem. I don't know if it will freeze you to death, though, or at least harm you. But let me double check. Let's double check together. Features and traits. Racial traits.
Doesn't have to be a race thing, though.
Well, it literally is a race.
I didn't care for that.
Let's check. Triton. Let's see. Triton. Yes, you are resistant to cold damage. So while it will have some type of effect on you, it will be quite reduced.
So Zunis could swim.
And then maybe carry you guys?
Yeah, I also have, I'm looking at my equipment now. I have a baton which sticks into stuff and I can loop them through it. So you can take the rope and the baton to the other side and then stick it into the ground and just like spot us from the other side. That would be great.
So I'm on the other side and then I'm kind of repelling you guys?
Yeah.
If that works, I'd love to do it.
Sure. Yeah, let's try it. So you do get to the river's edge, and you're kind of looking for a way to like the best kind of most narrow area to cross. You do find a little bit. You can actually kind of hop on a couple of pieces of ice before you really have to dive in. But the river is still pretty wide. It's going to be a good swim. It would take you a little bit, even for you, a strong swimmer. Can I have you do me a favor? I'm going to have you roll an athletics check, and then I'm going to have you roll a Constitution saving throw at advantage.
Athletics is pretty weak. Con, and then another con.
So the good news is, as you kind of dive into the water, you can acclimate to the cold pretty easily, and it's not harming you. Although you're like, fuck, it's cold. But you start swimming, and it's just you're not used to it. You obviously haven't used a lot of this ability for a bit, and not in water this cold. So you go pretty slowly, but the current is taking you quite a bit.
Hey,
you're kind
guys, sorry, real quick.
Yeah, please.
Can I just jump in here? Why aren't we talking about the broom? Why
Oh,
aren't we trying to use the broom?
Well, he's already in the water. Broom is done.
I can
So
swimming. You guys can take the broom.
yeah.
Can two can fly on the broom, right?
the broom was damaged in a previous adventure and can only hold Dent at this point.
Oh, it can't hold Rowena?
Mm-mm.
What, do I weigh more than Dent?
Well, I feel like Dent as a robot will be okay with cold temperatures.
Yeah.
I'll double check that as well. But Zunis, as you're trying to swim across, you are actually unable to hold that baton, and it starts kind of like flowing away in the water away from you. Are you going to go after the baton, or are you just going to try to make it to the other side? The rope, I assume, is still being held by Rowena.
What's my level of survivability right now?
You are consoled. Even for you, you are concerned. Even for you, it feels really cold. You can withstand it for a bit where it won't harm you, but if you're in the water too much longer, it may again.
Save yourself, Sunis.
Save myself?
Yeah.
But what about you guys?
Well, how strong are you?
It sounds not very. How far away is this? This pick that I'm missing now.
It's flowed down quite a bit, and it's hard to kind of see because it's dark now. I would say it's probably flowed at least another 35, 40 feet away from you.
Okay, what if we did this? I grab the rope. I fly across with the rope. I'm on the broom. Boom. I hold it down. I anchor down the rope. And then you guys go on the rope across the river, but like above it. Like I tie it to a tree.
Okay. But I guess as soon as
So I don't need the pick then?
Yeah, don't get the pick. Just get out of the water first.
Okay.
To be safe, and then Dent can do his thing.
All right, I guess I'm going to continue.
Okay.
And
Zunis, you are able to get across the water, but it takes you quite a bit. Luckily, again, you're pretty well suited to the cold, so it doesn't harm you. So, Dent, you have the baton and the rope in your hand?
Yep.
Okay, you make it over. You do get over to the other side with the broom, no trouble. You're going to start kind of anchoring it, trying to find a good spot to anchor it into the ground, I assume. I would like you to roll a survival check.
Higher than the ground, like a tree.
Oh, sure. Yeah, no worries. Roll a survival check.
Okay. It's easier said than done with the baby.
Oh, I forgot about Sinesta. Did I leave her on the ship?
She is on the ship, yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god.
So you feel pretty confident you've got it tied off really well. Feels tight. And you hail over Rowena.
but he rolled a 0.
Wait, he got a 0?
Yeah.
He feels real good about it.
Does that mean I'm gonna?
This feels like a trap.
Yeah.
Rowena, you hear Dent tell you, it's all good. You're ready to go.
Okay.
I'll tell you the worst part too. It was at a 19, and then at the last second, it rolled the 1.
I take a brief moment to commune with Talona. I say, Talona, if you want me to be your champion, I can't die yet.
Roll a religion check.
That's how good my rope job was. We got to roll religion checks.
Can we take a quick break to find out what Ivo and Lou are having in the ship while we're freezing?
Is it the leftover dumplings y'all made? Because those look good. Those look really bomb.
Oh, nice.
I peeped that. It looked good.
Rowena, you don't hear anything back from Talona. Maybe the ephemeral, just little bit of a cackle, like a tiny little bit, but you have no idea what it means.
It's
As
super-
of now, in your brain, the rope is tied. You feel confident. Dent feels confident. It's up to you what you do.
Oh, I shouldn't have got the mind thing, the mind stone, because remember she was tracking me like that.
Yeah, and I said that was fun.
Yeah, you were right, Zunis. I should have kept it. I just was. Dent had a very strong feeling about not trusting Ormond. So.
Goddamn right.
All right, you're standing at the end of the river.
I went Dent. Okay, I'm. Here goes nothing. I'm ready to try and fly across the river.
All right, so how are you? You're like trying to like walk on the rope and just kind of like stay on it, like hold it, like you know.
Oh, I pictured it like above me, and I was
sure.
holding.
Yeah, perfect. Do me a favor. I'd like you to roll an acrobatics check at disadvantage.
Oh.
Just gonna preface, this is going to be a real high DC. Remember, disadvantage.
Yep. Ooh.
Okay. So you start climbing. You get about not even a third of the way through, and the rope just like loosens completely on your side. Luckily, you fall, and you're just so agile, you're able to kind of quickly flip yourself around, and you realize right below you was actually a piece of floating ice that you now have landed on your feet. You are not in the water, thank God, but you are floating on this moving piece of ice that is just rocking, and you are barely able to like keep yourself upright. You are now passing the point in the river where Zunis and Dent have disembarked. But you are floating past them at quite a quick clip, almost like full run speed. What do you want to do? You still got another maybe like 30 to 40 feet away from the other side of the river, and you're floating on this huge ice floe.
Okay, flow broke off, and
Yeah,
it's...
like pieces of ice just flow down this river consistently, you notice. As it's like midway through freezing.
Sorry, and where I know you said this. Where is Zunis in relation to me?
They are probably about 60, 70 feet away from you on the other side of the river, but they are further upriver and you are downriver now as this ice flow is carrying you towards Morgul.
Okay, and the rope is just gone. It's
Yeah.
just too slack to do anything.
Technically, it's still kind of on the side of the river where Dent was. If he wants to try and grab it real fast, I'll allow a roll for it, but it went pretty quick.
I have a, yeah. I would like. I saw this on Mulan. I would like to hook up my bow and arrow with a rope and shoot the rope into a tree.
Okay. All right. Roll an attack roll with your bow.
Okay.
Oh, and actually,
This is
before you do
legend.
that, roll a survival check to see if the knot stays on the bow.
Okay. Alright, survival. And then bow.
Get up on your person for
I know.
So yeah, just real quickly in like pure panic and like you're just already freezing cold, just trying to get the bow on there. You're able to do it kind of quickly, you're gonna aim and fire, and it just, and it's like right past Dent's head, almost as like just a little bit of a fuck you, man. Two lodges in the same tree, super tight. You feel it hold. The ice flow keeps going. You are holding on to this rope, and it's starting to pull you into the water. You do fall in the water, but you're holding the rope. I need you to roll a Constitution saving throw
Okay.
as you plunge into this frigid water. All right, you take.
I can't blame Ivo because he almost died because of me several times.
You take 10 points of cold damage as you just full on into that thing. As soon as you hit the water and it kind of holds on to you, I would like you to also roll a survival check for me just to see if you know what to do when you hit cold water real quick.
Okay. How is cold damage different from regular damage?
It isn't unless you're resistant to it like Zunis or one of the other characters would be.
Okay.
Yeah, so you do remember, like, your first instinct when you hit cold water is to take a deep breath and to just kind of let go of anything. In your mind, you know, like, hold on to the rope, hold on to the rope, hold on to the rope. You're able to hold your breath, kind of hang on, and then slowly start to pull yourself back out of the river. Can you roll an athletics check for me?
Yep.
Nice. All right. So yeah, you're able to, but you're soaking, you're damp, you're cold. You do get out of the edge of the water, right in front of Dent and Zunis, who are in front of you now, kind of looking down at you, a little surprised that you're still there with them.
And how much damage do I have?
You took 10 points of damage.
Okay. All right, and I just look up at them and say, "Next time, don't drop the baton."
I didn't want to drop the baton.
Oh.
You told me to keep going. I looked back.
I turn to Rowena and I say, "Hey, chill out."
Rowena, you gotta call Dent out on his tying skills. He did not tie that rope up very well at all.
I know, Dent, and I'm just still salty about me. I felt like I was being a good team player by rejecting the mind token, and now I feel like it could help us if Ramon knew where we were.
Also, was chill out a pun?
It was.
Nice.
Keep going, guys.
I'm winning puns.
All right. So you've now onto the road, thankfully, but you still got about an hour to go as you go through this. Are you stopping to do anything, or are you going to go right to the city?
We need to get warm if we can.
Yeah, I just don't want to take up too much time. I mean, I can build. I have plenty
You've taken 10 points of cold damage.
stuff for building a fire. Zunis, can you just give me a healing?
Yes. Can. I have cure wounds, and I think I have.
You
go
also
ahead.
have an ability, Zunis, called Lay on Hands, where you can give someone, if you.
Under my axe.
Yeah, it's. I think it's under your features, where you can just give someone a little bit of an extra life point bump. And you
I'll
choose
take-
how many of that you want to give.
Well, you lost 10, right?
Yeah.
I'll give 10.
Thank you.
There you go.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
All right. So you do feel a little better, although you are still cold and damp. But you feel like you can maybe at least get some Morgul before it gets too bad out here. So if you're all heading in that direction, anything else happening?
Do we have any type of torch or anything that we could use to, like, A, give us light since it's dark out, and B, also warm?
Sure. Yeah, you guys have torches on you. You could light them. I think a couple of you might even have the light spell. I'm not certain.
Yeah.
I don't think I do.
I have a torch, and I also have a tinder box for fire, and I have candles.
Oh, yeah. That way we can keep moving and also get warm rather than
Cool.
staying in the middle of nowhere.
So, Rowena, you're lighting up a torch
Yeah.
as you go through. Cool. You light up a torch. You're about maybe 30, 45 minutes outside of Morgul from this roadway here. But you're heading down the main road. You do notice that no one else is on this road in front of you. As you get closer to Morgul, you do notice that there is movement and activity on the walls. There are guards up there. They can see. With the light and a torch, they can definitely see you as well as you approach. And within actually not much longer, only maybe another 10 minutes, you actually from afar start hearing the trampling of hooves and feet coming closer to you. As you are starting to approach from the spine road, you actually see a contingent of about 10 Lord Crown mercenaries walk out towards you and kind of block your path from Morgul. And they look at all of you and say, who are you and what are you doing here in the city?
Don't worry, guys. I got this. Okay, and I say to them, well, I haven't really thought of anything yet, but we are but a few travelers from Sylvanestra, and we were driven out of our homes by plague. And we really have taken stock of our lives, and we'd like to join the Lordless Crown.
Roll a deception check.
Okay.
Yeah. Sure. Plague in Sylvanestra, home of Sylvanus, god of wild magic, because he would let a plague happen there. That's a good one.
Did
Listen.
Sylvanestra? You heard about the plague in Wadap?
Something about this sounds really fishy, and we're already a little concerned with the fighting that's going on and the Civil War nonsense, so we're just not going to take any chances. Guards, would you mind? And you see 3 or 4 of them kind of swing out, and they're starting to go closer to you, clearly trying to arrest you. Spears are pointed down.
I draw my rapier.
Wow, we're going straight to fight.
All right, roll initiative.
Oh,
So I need Zuna, Stent, and Rowena. I'll roll initiative for me, please.
hey, Mia.
Sorry, guys, I fucked that up.
You always go right to fighting.
No, I tried to deceive first.
Hello, my fellow kids.
Zuna's got a 4.
Yeah, not good for me.
And Dent got a 2.
Just laughing at that little chest.
All right, we're gonna do this theater of the minds now because I wasn't expecting you to get into fight so fast, but that's all right.
I
Hey,
feel like
I wanted for us to hire the pirate.
There's still a shot. You don't know. It could happen.
I'm also curious what's going on with old Thad and Lilu. Or
Yeah, can we get some kind of a cutscene back to the
Also,
ship?
yeah, Thad is just drunk still, right?
yeah, and can you give Sinesta a few lines too?
Sure. Is that what we want to do? We could pause there for a moment. So we go back to the ship. On the ship, Thad is still puking because Helm was upset with his behavior.
It's his body weight.
You know, Ivo and for Thad, it's the weird thing. The amulet he has also heals him while he drinks, so it's like a vicious cycle. But Ivo, are you and Lilu doing anything on the ship?
Well, we actually we were hungry, so we just ate. So now, yeah. So we're obviously it's just Thad's puking, so he's away. So it's just Lilu and I. So I'm kind of pacing. I'm nervous. There's a lot going on, so I'm pacing the deck, kind of keeping a watchful eye.
Okay.
And then so I kind of turn to Lilu and I'm just like, "Hey, tell me a story." I'm nervous.
I love this putting on the spot.
When you ask Lilu for a story, you hear, and Sinesta kind of weakly comes out, has like a big fur coat on, like a little blanket. She's like, "Oh, I want a story too."
There we go.
Come on over.
And she plops down next to Lilu, waiting for her story.
Oh. Don't you dare.
Stay in the game, Clayton.
I think. Oh. So I think I'd say I respond with, "I'm not very good at stories or being put on the spot. I'd rather just keep filing my nails as I was before you started talking to me."
Tell me. That's fine. Tell me. I'm nervous, so I need something to hold my mind. When was the first time you flew an airship?
Hold please.
Hold for re-looking at notes of backstory.
Sinesta looks very
Backstory.
very invested in that. While we're looking for the backstory, we'll flip back to the trio fighting. So it is first going to be one of the guardsmen's turn. He's just going to go right to Rowena because that's who kind of started this, and he is going to try and grab you. Can I have you roll an athletics check or acrobatics check as you'd like? He's trying to grapple you.
Yes.
He is actually able to grapple you, so he's now got a hold of you. That'll end his turn as he's got you there, and that will be the other one who's also going to do the same thing. He's going to kind of flank you, try to grab your other arm. I need you to do the same thing for me, another acrobatics check or athletics check. You're going to do it at disadvantage, though, because you're already grappled by one.
Oh, this doesn't bode well.
Yeah. So now they both have a hold of each of your arms. One is kind of like got both of his hands on you. The other one has like one arm on you and one arm in his like sword that he's kind of pressing into your waistline. But that'll bring it to your turn. You are currently grappled. Both of your arms are restrained.
It's my turn. can I do? What happened to my torch?
You dropped it as they grabbed you.
Okay. Is it still flaming, or has it been extinguished by the snow?
Still looks like it's on.
Okay. I would like to fight to pull away from these guards and then dump my tinderbox on the torch to start a fire.
Okay, if you're trying to pull away, acrobatics check or athletics check again at disadvantage to see if you can get out of there.
Okay.
You are actually able to escape. Even with an 8, because they rolled a 4.
Nice!
So they do slip away. You throw the tinderbox on it. The fire, it's not like an explosion. It's just a tinderbox. It's like little snuff and stuff. But it does kind of, real quick, kind of temporarily blind them as it's the nighttime there. So they kind of look away, and you are a few feet away from them. I'll say that was your action and probably most of your movement. Do you have any bonus actions or anything you want to do?
Can I dive at Dent and Zunis to save them, or does that count?
What do you mean?
Can I leap at them and move them out of the way?
Please do.
No, you probably don't have any movement left. Trying to like break through, I would say that would be all of it that you'd have. So you can kind of like run towards them.
Okay, and I shout, "Save yourselves!" I'm not into this.
The other ones are gonna go in. One is actually coming out on the other side where Dent is, and he's gonna try and grapple you. Dent, can you roll an acrobatics or an athletics check for me?
Let's see which one is better. Oh yeah, athletics for sure.
Okay, so actually he is successfully able to grapple you and hold on to you as you're kind of fighting back. The cloak that you're wearing, the hood that you're wearing kind of flicks back, and he actually gets a look at your face. And when he sees that you are a Warforged, he kind of steps back for a second, and you see him kind of pause, and he goes, "Oh." And that will end his turn. Bring us back to another one. This one's going to go for Zunis. He's also going to try and grapple you, Zunis. Can you roll an athletics or an acrobatics check for me?
Yeah. I'm going to go athletics because I got a +5 on that.
Yeah, he can't seem to grab you. As he grabs your arm, you just break it away real easily. And that will bring us back to Zunis. It is your turn.
All right. Here to kick some ass, take some names, take out my greatsword, and I swing.
All right, roll to hit.
Hell yeah.
You definitely hit. Go ahead and roll your damage. Nice.
Cool.
Right. One right above you just is like super bloody. Does a huge hit on him there. Remember, you get 2 attacks on your turn if you'd like to take it again.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do the same.
Mm-hmm.
My greatsword as well.
Yeah, also hits. Go ahead and roll damage again. Yeah, you just completely kill one. Just one swing, 2 swing. This guard just topples dead.
Nice.
And that will bring us to the captain who sees this. Let's see if he notices. He does not, so he charges straight at Rowena. We're going to pause there and go back to the ship. Lily, how's your story going?
I got farther in it, and I can answer the question that I have been flying since I was around 22.
How old are you now?
Tell me about that first time you flew. Were you good at it? Did you nearly crash? Or what happened?
I don't think anyone's good at anything the first time they do it. So I didn't crash, but it was a little scary. But I adapted to it very quickly because I don't like failing that often.
When are some times that you did fail?
When I decided to talk to you and not keep filing my nails.
Oh.
And smash cut back to the fight. The captain tried to just go and trample Rowena. He is horse. He's mounted on a horse. He actually missed. The horse did not get through it, which brings us back to Dent. Again, you noticed that the guard kind of was taken aback as he noticed you were a Warforged, and seemed like he didn't want to fight you after he noticed that for some reason. You're not sure why.
I grab the guard and I pull him away from the fight.
Roll a athletics check. Yeah, you're able to grab him pretty good. He can't break out of that.
Nice. I want to ask him, what are you guys doing all the way out here?
What do you mean? What are we doing out here? We're out here right now because we saw you were walking up on this road. We came to intercept you, and then you attacked us.
We're no foe to you. Call your men off. We can leave peacefully.
I don't think you understand how this works. He's the captain, and I'm under the captain. So,
What's your name?
Bo.
Bo, you have more power than you realize. Go tell the captain to call the men off.
Roll a persuasion check.
Well, believe in yourself.
Okay, yeah, we were told we weren't supposed to fight people that look like you anyway. Hold on. Captain Garl. Captain Garl, there's one of them, metal forged, war robots, with them. I don't think we should be fighting. And you see Captain Garl kind of like quickly turn around with his horses. He's like trying to line up his lance with Rowena once more. And he goes, huh? And then he looks over at Dent and kind of notices that there's a warforged there, and he does kind of put up his lance and tell his men to stop. And he goes over to Dent and kind of brings his horse over to you, and he kind of levels his lance at you, and he's demanding to know what is it a warforged is doing out here. You're supposed to be in the city with the others.
It's a very simple explanation, which is that I'm bringing these prisoners with me to the city so I can join the others. Now let us be.
Roll a deception check. At advantage.
What does advantage mean again? Twice?
Roll it twice, take the higher number. If you right-click on it too, it'll just give you advantage as well.
Yeah, I got a 17 and a 16.
So he kind of looks at you, looks around at them, and he's like, well, it's the weirdest way to travel with prisoners I've ever seen. They're not even restrained, and that one looks like she fell in the river, which would have been real stupid. But I guess it would be odd if Captain Yao had given orders for other people to be brought in, but okay. I suppose we can just escort you back in then. Follow me. And he turns off the other guards there. They just leave the corpse in the street. There's like no reverence for one of the dead mercenaries at all. And they head back into towards Mogul. You kind of see as he gets to the city gate, he does kind of have a hand gesture, and there's like a major gate, and in it is a kind of a bit of a smaller metal portcullis that actually just lifts off individually, just enough for y'all to enter kind of single file. And he does let you in, and as you get closer, you do see, even in like the darkness with the torches that are burning in each of the kind of stages and sconces that are on there, this wall is huge, easily like 70, 100 feet tall in different places, super thick, made of stone, looks like it's been here for centuries. This place is clearly meant to be fortified and defended. And you notice as you kind of like see around, you can't see where the wall stops, so it basically goes from the cliff face all the way to the front. Also in the front of this area where the wall is where the main fortress is built. It's on kind of this space. So it's a tiered kind of level. And on the very top tier is this huge dominating fortress that looks out over the horizon. Was there a question in there? Did I hear someone? No? Okay. So as we enter Morgul, let me show you what you're looking at.
Know that Captain Yao was here?
Did you know that beforehand?
Yeah.
No. You just heard his name mentioned now.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like someplace he would be.
So if you kind of look at this quick map of Morgul that you have, what you'll see on the left is where you're coming in from. You're coming from that northernmost road. That's the spine road that kind of leads into that side of the city. You can see that the walls lead all the way around the city and kind of end and terminate at the cliff face. There are towers at repeated intervals throughout. And then finally, that crown, the crown keep, kind of the main fortress, is actually closest to the inland side, but it is huge and really has a perfect perch to see almost the entire island from where it is. So clearly a very defensible position. But as you enter, you kind of walk through, and you are being escorted by apparently Captain Garl, who is walking you more towards the center of town. As you go through this town, you notice that there clearly was some fighting here. It's not too bad near the walls, but as you get closer to the center of town, you notice there's actually still some corpses on the ground. You notice that there are bloodstains and dead animals and broken caravans or crates or pieces of wall that have been damaged. There's clearly some fighting here. Can I have all of you roll a perception check for me? Awesome. Rowena, you notice as you're looking at all of the corpses, the only corpses you've seen have been Lordless Crown corpses.
Interesting.
There doesn't seem to be any of those. As you walk closer into the center of town, you kind of notice it opens up into a very rectangular plaza, and you hear Captain Garl kind of gesture forward and say, "That's where he told all the Warforged to go to, so I'll just leave you here in Lord's Square." And he just kind of turns around and takes his men and heads back over to the wall where they were probably patrolling beforehand. In front of you, Dent, you actually do see that there are a couple other Warforged here. There's about 3 or 4 that are just kind of patrolling. There's also a couple that are very methodically and robotically walking Lordless Crown mercenaries up to a gallows. And just like, it's almost like machine work. It just, robot comes, Warforged comes, puts him in the gallows, dead. Takes the corpse down, throws it in a pile, another one comes up, dead. Watching all of this is a recognizable figure who you've seen a couple times. Older gentleman with the beard, bit of a hat, and as he looks back, you see his mechanical eyes kind of blink at you, and you recognize that this is Captain Yao, looking back at the group, and he kind of goes, "Well, I guess I knew you all would show up eventually. Wouldn't it be a better place? Where's your idiot friend?"
I don't know what you're talking about.
"I'm not stupid. Where's Ivo?"
Let's find someplace more private to talk, Captain Yao.
Kind of looks at the rest of the Warforged. Roll a persuasion check for me.
It's a very persuasive mission.
You guys wanted a role play, so that's what happens when you try to be sneaky. Yeah, nice. So he kind of looks and he goes, "Fine. Tired of fucking watching more of my brothers and sisters get killed anyway." So he kind of like huffs on, takes you guys to a little bit of like a guardhouse that's near the end of this square. Sits you down. You do see that there are actually other Lordless Crown mercenaries and Warforged in here, just kind of meandering about, cleaning things up, putting spikes of wet. And he kind of gestures to all of them and says, "Hey, get the fuck out!" They all kind of leave. You guys sit at a table now with Captain Yao across from you. "Okay, what's the story, Spill?"
What's going on? Why are they executing Lordless Crown members?
Well, the unfortunate truth is these fuckers ended up being traitors. Apparently Valdrew came back after our, what's the word, engagement in Castleton, whatever the fuck he had cooked up over there. Guess his whole plan overall was to just stage a coup, try and take over Karna's spot as the crown bearer. He's a clever bastard, but he just didn't have the muscle. Convinced a lot of the rest of them to join him. We put it down. I was able to get here in time with some help from our, Erzatsarai friends. And we put a stop to it. He ran off and went to Raven's Rock.
So he's just free, he's on the run?
Well, as you can see, he kind of did a number on us here. We're still recovering. I don't know how long it'll be before we get reinforcements. I was hoping, maybe if Ivo was here, based on the letter I had sent to him, that he would, show up.
You sent the letter?
Yeah, I'm the one who fucking intercepted it. Everything goes through Morgul here.
Oh, wow, that was really nice of you.
It's not about fucking being nice. I have orders just like you.
I don't know if we have orders. I thought you were also enthralled to our Zatsurai friends. Didn't they hook you up with the new eyes?
Enthralled is a big word, and he kind of blinks. Think of it more like, indentured servitude.
Yeah, we were able to dodge that somehow, although I think they have our number.
Fucking lucky to be you, huh?
Yeah, well, why don't we work together? I was just reminiscing about our days in the prisons under the temple at Tharvan, because we've also got some pursuers in the shape of Koromir members, so that's why I was reminiscing.
Did they stop you? Did they say anything?
We lost them. We fought them off.
Oh, that's good.
Well, no, it's good.
Yeah, I heard a few of them were going over to New Blackford. Something's going on with them and Voldrew.
Oh, really? What do you know?
Well, that's the thing. Voldrew's trying to have people choose sides, let's say. He's going down to different places, campaigning, bribing people, trying to get different groups to join him and eventually take Morgul back. Karna's doing everything she can to stop him, but you know how it goes with these fucking mercenaries. Highest bidder, right?
Right, that's the problem with working with mercenaries.
Hey,
so Karna and
some of us are
Voldrew
real good people.
You and I have been discussing this. Don't worry, I get it. So Karna and Voldrew are at odds?
Well, Karna's the fucking crown bearer, right?
Yeah.
So obviously Voldrew is trying to Karna to take over. Be a little hard to be the new crown bearer if the old one's still around.
Yeah, and you guys are killing Voldrew's guys right now.
Yeah, whichever one fought against us, they're, hanging in the Lord's Square. Aptly named.
Okay, well, we need to, for one reason and one reason only, and that is to help my friend and bodyguard Ivo recover his lost love, who I believe is being held captive by Voldrew, who you say is at Raven's Rock or maybe
Right.
Black.
You realize I read the letter. I know why you're here.
That's true. You wrote the postscript. Okay, so let's scratch each other's backs here. What can we work out?
Whoa.
Well, that's not really a question for me. I'd say maybe we need to have you have a little meet and greet with Karna. But she's not going to talk unless Ivo's there, so you figure out how to get his dumb red ass over here.
I'm like the John the Baptist in this situation. I'm preparing a way for the Lord, or in this case, the Lordless, who is Ivo. So, please, now that I'm here, we gotta let Ivo into the city. He wasn't sure if it'd be safe.
Well, I guess that's probably a smart decision if he was trying to avoid this bullshit in the first place. Not the smartest move to come to the fucking capital then if he was trying to avoid things, but whatever. I don't know. Go and get him or message him or whatever the fuck needs to happen.
Okay, he's in a big airship. You know we have an airship now,
Yeah, I saw the fucking airship. I was at Castleton. We were there for the fighting. Y'all left. Great fucking job on that.
You missed the most exciting part. We killed Jackson, haven't you heard?
Oh, that's cool. I don't really care who Jackson is. I was the one in Castleton putting down bodies, so.
Okay. I mean,
you
there
guys
were
sent some bird person to help us. He came, told us people were coming, and then fucking flew off. So.
Don't talk
Tell me
about
more about the
Dent's
bird
foster brother.
What direction did he take off in?
I think he was heading towards Skywind, I think is what he said. It's hard to say. He was making noises and shit.
Okay.
Anything else you can tell us about Smoke?
What else do you want to know? He came, he said in, I think someone's voice sounded a lot like your own, to fucking be ready because an army from Wadep was coming. He said he had other business to do and that he was heading to Skywind if anyone asked. End of discussion. He had black feathers, a big fucking beak, and he spoke with sounds. What else do you need to know?
Okay, well, let's go. Do you have a tower or something, someplace, air traffic control where I can flag down the airship?
All right, fine. You know what? I'll just do you a favor. Where are y'all parked? And I'll just send someone in that direction.
You got someone that you can just send in the middle of the night?
He's the captain.
Right.
It's impressive.
Anyway, you hear him kind of yell outside, and the Warforged kind of like stomps in. Hey, take a few of you other metal fuckers, get in one of the caravans, and head down to the spot where they point on the map. Would you mind pointing on the map? Can you at least do that?
Den, could you point on the map? I've lost my bearings.
I point to the part of the... Wait, sorry.
roll a history check. Let's see how well you remember where he was.
Did we end up going into
No. Well, they dropped us off there, so.
Oh, so we're pretty close.
I guess so. Unless they.
And where's the lake that we went through?
It's that river right there.
And then how are we doing on that history check?
Easier said than done.
sorry. So yeah, you do remember right where he was. You point him out there. He kind of gruffs off at them, and you see the Warforged kind of clank, 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 stomp out. Well, if you guys were there beyond the river, it's going to take a little bit for him to get here. Maybe you guys should head back to the Crown there. Find some places to stay. I'll introduce you to Karna, and in the morning you can all speak to her or some shit.
We're gonna need food and supplies for the night.
That's fine. All right, follow me. Kind of walks out with you outside of the building.
And while we're walking, I wonder in my own head, what it's like back at the ship right about now. What Ido's doing.
We'll get there in just 1 second. Rowena, was there something you wanted to share?
Oh, Captain Yao, how do we ensure? I trust you innately, despite or perhaps because of your no bullshit demeanor. But how do we make sure that this insurrection and the general political strife does not touch us overnight?
What?
How do we make sure we're gonna stay safe wherever you're putting us?
I don't know. Do what I fucking do. Sleep with a knife under your pillow. Fucking dumbass. And he just walks out of the building.
This is a money character.
Charming as always.
I do have a knife, saying.
So he's outside of the building waiting for you. See, he's kind of gotten into a little bit of a wagon and cart, waiting for the rest of you guys to kind of join. And you head off towards Crown Keep to meet Karna, the current crown bearer of the Lordless Crown. And smash cut back to the ship a couple hours later. Where are we? What are y'all saying? Sinesta is like, yeah, the first time I failed anything, my mom was teaching me to cook, and man, I have never seen anything catch fire faster than that. And then as she says that, you hear like a doo 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 as a couple of rocks are being thrown at the deck from above the cliff, as you see a contingent of Warforged trying to get your attention from above you.
How high up are they?
Probably about 40 feet.
And then I'm assuming, so Ivo can, because he's got dark vision, I can clearly see where they are. I guess I'll come out kind of to the deck there and look up at them, and feeling a little bit, I'm trying to read them to see what I'm definitely like, I have my Shadow Spike kind of half unsheathed, kind of presenting to be a little aggressive and a little defensive of what they're doing here, and I kind of wait for them to make the next move.
You hear one of them in a very familiar voice to Dent just kind of say, "We were sent to get you. Please come up here."
God damn it. Who sent you?
They didn't tell me their names, but Captain Yao told us to.
Captain Yao has them?
Yes.
Shoot, that's not good. What
They
does he
seem
intend
fine.
to do with them? Oh, what did you say? Say it one more time, DM.
Well, you said shoot, that's not good, and they heard you, and he said, they seem fine.
So I'm assuming Lilu is close by, so I turn to her and I say, what do you make of this? Should we trust them, or is this a trap?
Is this something where I can roll a perception check?
Are you trying to see something specifically?
Just to see if they're okay or not, or if we can get any more insight.
You can roll an insight check. That would kind of tell you if they're on the level or if something else is going on. Hard to say. You've never really seen a lot of Warforged, and they don't have a ton of emotions to give off. They seem pretty baseline emotionless.
Well, I don't know this captain guy. What is your instinct?
Well, the Warforged were not by any means enemy to us, but Captain Yao is quite the trickster, and I don't know if I trust him. But at the same time, what is interesting is that if Captain Yao did have them and meant to do harm, he wouldn't have revealed his own name and that he was there. So this is a little bit of an in-betweener of things. Where? So I guess I'll ask the Warforged, where exactly are they?
They're in Crown Keep. Sleeping, I believe.
What? How are you supposed to bring us back? Can we fly our ship there?
I was not given this, but I assume that would be the fastest.
All right. So I feel like this might be okay. But let's do this. Why don't we're all right, we will go and meet our friends and Yao. We'll fly our ship there. Okay, we will come with you.
Well, if you're gonna fly the ship, please allow us to board so that we can clear the docks for you.
Why do you have to board us? Why can't you just tell them to clear the docks?
Because the airship is faster than the wagon.
But should they know already the airship is coming if you were sent to get us?
He kind of like glitches for a moment. You gotta see his brain like think. And he replies, yes, but we were told to bring you in the wagon. So they don't know that an airship is coming.
Okay. I don't know. Something seems off. I don't trust it.
What if you take the wagon and I fly above you?
No, if anything, we're staying together. No, Lilu, let's break off. Something's wrong. Let's get out of here.
Okay.
So I tell Lilu to basically unanchor the ship, and we're fleeing it. Something's amiss. Let's get out of here, and then we'll re-examine it.
All right, so y'all fly off into the world. The Warforged don't seem to do anything, but you kind of see them look a little puzzled, and they turn around, and you can see from a distance that they've turned their wagons around and headed back to the city. It's now in back to Crown Keep, where the rest of the gang have kind of been around. Are y'all going to sleep, or would you like to do anything else before you go to sleep? It's pretty late. It's probably like 9 p.m., almost 10.
Does the place have a jacuzzi so I can warm up?
There are amenities. They are not made available to you currently.
I thought we asked for food and supplies and they said yes.
You got food and supplies, but not a spa.
Yeah,
I would like a hot beverage to warm up after my ordeal at the river.
Yeah, you do have a fireplace in your room. You can make a pot, like a pot of tea or anything else you want. There are things available to you to make, and water, refreshments, small food pieces, etc. There's stuff they've given to you. Probably not available at the current moment.
If
I'd
only
like to walk around. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, I was just gonna say, if only Thad were here with his flask.
Yeah, that's still on the airship.
I'd like to walk around the barracks and see if I can run into any more Warforged.
I want Dent to give more inspirational speeches to guards.
Dent, can you roll a perception check for me?
Yeah, give me a minute. Oof.
Yeah, you don't see any other Warforged. What
None.
you also don't see is another group of Lordless Crown kind of walking down one corner of the hallway and you walking toward another. And you bump into them and just completely wipe out. You all fall ass over tea kettle on the floor as you try to get up. And they kind of like accost you a little bit, and you hear them as they kind of walk past. Stupid fucking robots, and they keep going.
I let them get away with that. Turn the other cheek, as I always say. Okay, I'd like to continue to explore this area and just see if I can find any kind of like hidden trap doors or any kind of stronghold points where we might be getting ambushed.
You search for a while and you are having a hard time finding anything that really matters. The hallways here are very windy and curved, and a lot of those blind corners, at least from the way you're coming, seem pretty prevalent. Again, even the interior of this is really meant to be defended, and meant to really turn people around, get them confused. So you have a really hard time really knowing where you are. Can you do me a favor and roll just a straight D20?
As I can.
Yeah, you are lost. You have no idea where in Crown Keep you
Yeah, you suck.
are. For the other two, are you all still in the room? Are you going to go to sleep now? Are you going to do anything else before you go to sleep? Any other conversations you want to have?
Talk to Zoom.
What's going on?
More about your life. We've been so involved in my life and now Ivo's, but I really want to know more about you, Zoom.
Wonder when the first time he flew an airship was.
Everyone needs bedtime stories tonight. I love it. Well, the mission was originally about me, as you might remember.
That's true.
But I realized that the mission where I needed to go back to my hometown, similar to us coming to Ivo's, was superseded by my need to be a part of this group, and feeling of belonging, and I feel as if, yes, I miss my family and my wife, but I have this new family and kinship with all of you, so I love these missions, and I like helping with everyone's ultimate goals as we're reaching in one of Ivo's. Feels nice.
That's right, you have a wife.
I do.
Oh.
Yes.
I'm good. I'm going to bed.
Zunis, are you really okay with not going to bed?
Yeah. This is my calling.
Well, I'm hopeful that in the end, whenever that might be, we solve the problem of the world spikes, and although I can't really keep track of it, because now I think that might not be the big problem, and yours, that's right, I have some other motive, but you can safely return to your home if you so choose.
That would be great. But I'll miss you guys only. I think you're getting tired, Rowena.
All right. Well, in the meantime, I try and send some good vibes to Ivo and Sinesta.
Sure.
I try and get back in touch. I think, okay, so Rowena, I think, is really feeling the muggleness of it all and her lack of magic. Mm-hmm. And I think she's trying to commune with Talona more, so.
Sure. Are you saying anything specifically to Talona?
Talona. It's really hard to convince her because she doesn't take any sort of reasonable incentive, I think. But I'm just like, Talona, please convey within the spirits of Ivo and Sinesta that we are safe and that they have nothing to fear by going into the Crown Keep. And, you're not really a carrot and the stick kind of person, but I believe that working together we can find something mutually beneficial.
Roll a religion check.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not picking up anything.
Okay, well, I was worth a shot. All right, well, I'm gonna go to sleep.
All right. So for Zunis and Rowena, if you want to take a long rest, Dent, you cannot. You are still lost and don't know where to stay. So you're just walking around. Morning arises, and Zunis and Rowena, you hear a knock on your door.
Who is it?
You just hear another.
Let me go check. Creak the door open.
Can I use the eagle eyes? The eyes of the eagle?
It won't let you see through the door.
Oh, okay.
Is there a peephole?
There is like a little latch. Yeah.
Yeah, let's take a look.
You look
Okay.
out. It's just a warforged standing there, like literally face at the peephole. No expression, no noise. As you're there, like you're looking at it, you hear the door kind of like whacks you a little bit in the nose.
Do you have a weapon on you?
Of course, always.
All right. Got my great sword just in case.
Sure.
Yeah, it's open.
All right. So
Yeah.
you open the door. Warforged kind of looks in there and goes, "Good morning. Follow me, please," and just turns and walks off.
Let's follow him.
I guess. Yeah.
I don't think that we have a choice, but where is it?
Well, you don't know just yet, but as you kind of wind through the hallways following this Warforged creature, he kind of leads you to a big stack of double doors that he is able to push open. And as he pushes open, you do see that you are now in this almost like ramped room with a stone throne and dais like all the way at the far end. And behind it is a huge glass window that is clearly like one of the highest points inside of the building. And the throne is right all the way there. It's really interesting how the room is designed. It's clearly meant to be an obstacle to get near the top, as it's almost at a hill-like steep. And he kind of walks up. The Warforged doesn't seem to have a problem doing it, but as you guys are getting it, you can kind of see that this is clearly meant to repel, like last stand type of stuff, push people back down. But you do see at the very far end, not even sitting on the throne, like one leg is like raised on top of it, other one down. Huge great axe kind of in her hand, points down, leaning on it, is a very burly, very muscular half-orc woman with long hair. It's a little bit scraggly, almost looks like a mullet. It's so matted, but it's just long. You see she's got these two bands of red paint kind of through her eyes that kind of connect to where her tusks are pointing out. And she looks kind of at all of you as she kind of looks through. And she goes, "Oh, are you the people that came with Ivo?"
Yes, Your Excellency.
All right, well, stop calling me that. And where is Ivo?
Undetermined. I believe some of your Warforged went to go get him, but he has yet to arrive, so perhaps you can ascertain where he is.
He is on the island.
Well, if he's on the island and you were supposed to go get him, why isn't he here?
We were supposed to stay here.
This sounds like a clusterfuck. Anyway, we found your other robot friend hanging around. Looks like he got turned around, and you just kind of see from the back hallway, Dent kind of gets pushed in by a couple of Lordless Guards and a couple of Warforged. It's weird, but Dent looks drained. Like his energy is sapped. Dent, by the way, you have a point of exhaustion because you were not able to sleep last night. As you kind of like stumble into this spot. So just a heads up, that means that all of your ability checks and skill checks will be at disadvantage until you can take a long rest.
Okay.
Or somehow remove it. But Karna kind of looks at you and you see her kind of heft the great axe down, and she walks down this ramp towards you, leaning back to kind of counterbalance herself in the weight of the action. She gets like right up in all of your faces. You notice, by the way, she walks down this steep hill like it's not even a problem. Like she's done this a million times, but she probably has. She kind of puts her face down right at Rowena, swings over to Dent, who she kind of has to look up a little bit for because he's tall. Looks at Zunis. Well, I guess we're fucked then.
To be so sure, we took down a pawn of the demon Gratz just recently, and we outran a couple other airships.
Yeah.
Ivo knows.
That's cool. Well, unless you have an army or some other cockamamie scheme to end this little rebellion, I don't know if it's going to be particularly worth your trip here.
Well, we're not here to end the rebellion, so don't you worry. However, if necessary, perhaps we can work something out. I'm sure Captain Yao can attest to our prowess.
Yeah, I'm not really surprised you took out Captain Yao. He's, what you'd call middle management.
Ah, okay. Well, Crown Bearer Karna, what can we need to? I believe you have an immediate interest in seeing the decimation of Aldru, and
Sure.
we can do that. We can take care of him.
That's great. Not sure if I would, like to share anything that's, specific to the Lordress to those outside of the Lordless, if you know what I mean.
You share it with Ivo?
Yeah, if he was fucking here. And she kind of spits on the ground.
You know, I'm gonna, and then I ask if I can excuse myself for a moment, and I walk out of the room, and I disguise self.
Okay. Okay. I assume you're trying to look like Ivo?
I would like to look like Ivo, yes.
Okay. Walk back in.
Talk and act the
I
same.
walk back in.
All right.
I gather my composure and I walk back in.
Roll a performance check as you try to say what you're going to say to...
Yeah. Hello, I'm here. I'm Ivo. I don't.
You're Ivo, huh? What's your last name?
I don't have a last name.
You see, she just takes the butt end of the great axe and just whacks you right in the face. And you kind of stumble backwards, dazed and confused, and the shimmer of your disguised self kind of fades off. I saw you fucking leave. God, these robots are fucking stupid. She spits the ground. This time, she's not aiming at the ground. She, like, gets it on your foot purposely. Listen, I'm not here to fuck around, okay? I lost half my my forces last night. This is some stupid-ass bullshit. We expected Ivo to be here near Mira a week ago. I don't know what the fuck took so long. Captain Yao said once his Zatsurai folks should be here, Ivo should have been along with them.
Zatsurai? On the island? You mean the Warforged?
Yeah, whatever the fuck he was calling them. I don't know.
Higher ranking with them?
Huh?
They're leaders. The Warforged leaders. Are they here?
Well, it's Captain Yao, I assumed. No one else came.
I thought that was just kind of an appointment of convenience. Okay,
Somewhere Captain Yao is like, fucking. How dare you?
He can do it, but he can't take it. And last time we saw him, he was hanging around with what? Gavin and who else was he with?
He was hanging around
Sonara.
the captain at Castleton. He was like slowly whispering in his ear from the Zatsurai, trying to let him know he had an army in case he needed to use it to defend against Jackson.
Yeah, appointment of convenience, like I said. Dan and Zudis, do you have any ideas? It would be really great if Ivo were here right now.
You see Karna kind of spits. Yeah, it'd be real fucking great if he was here right now.
He's on the way, right? Isn't he now?
I mean,
In the carriage? Is it?
I thought he didn't trust them.
Or did he set again?
The wagon came last night. There was no fucking Ivo on it. And my mercenary said he flew off in his fucking airship. They assumed he was coming to Winter's Breath Dock. But no fucking airship showed up. So I'm going to tell you right now, if that dumb, horned bastard went to go see Voldru at Raven's Rock and make a little deal to cut me out, I'm going to kill all of you right fucking now.
Please, he doesn't even know Voldru's at Raven's Rock. We know Voldru's at Raven's Rock. That's why we were dispatched here to find out. He would never abandon us also. And you, Lordless, are so vulgar.
Karna just rolls her eyes and sighs. Oh, I'm sorry, fucking princess.
Yeah, that's
we
first.
didn't come here to trade insults. We came here to trade favors. We need information from you. You need reinforcements from us. What do you say we strike a deal?
Roll a persuasion check. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna happen today. It's maybe just a little better if we keep you on ice for a bit until your friend shows up.
I don't think you want to do that.
No? Why not?
Because there's 3 of us and only 1 of you.
Oh.
You're right. You seem a little outnumbered. And you just see her kind of like boom, 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 the top of the axe head down. No one comes into the throne room, but from outside you just hear as the foot stomps of just what must be at least 100 people line up outside the door. Right. 1 of me, 3 of you.
What if I promise you the resources of all of the Deep Shadow and those who are currently in power at Wadep in your fight?
I'll tell you what. Me and 20 of my people come with you. You take us to wherever that fucking gutless bastard Ivo is hiding, since clearly he ran away like he did the first time. You take us to where he is. We have a little chat. We see how that chat goes. And if it goes well, you got a deal. If not,
Yes.
Betsy here gets a little thirsty.
Betsy.
I have one. I have
And she
one
just
condition for the deal.
slams the axe down. Betsy.
Got it.
I have one condition for the deal. I would like to be taken to where Ivo is in a wagon so that I can get a bit of a rest.
So that you can what?
Get a bit of a rest. It was a long night.
Ah. Why don't you just stay here, sweetums?
No, we
I'll
need.
accept that.
Stay here. Then we need you. Who knows what's gonna happen?
I've got my Warforged brethren here. I have nothing to fear.
You even know where Ivo is right now? Sounds like he ran off without y'all. Not abandon you my ass.
What do you mean sounds like he ran off? What do you know that we don't?
I know his airship's not here. I know you're here and he's not. And I'm guessing, real quick question, pop quiz. Do you know where he is right now?
Oh, maybe he dipped over to New Blacktop or whatever it's called.
Well, if it went to New Blackfoot, he's probably already in a world of trouble.
Well, what, do you know where he is?
No, of course not. I don't know fucking where he is. My men saw the airship fly away.
He wouldn't leave us. He and I are best friends, and he's my bodyguard.
Yeah, he was someone else's bodyguard not that long ago either.
You?
Huh.
I didn't
Whoever
realize it
mentioned
was.
that?
Yeah, I didn't realize he was that high up.
Ivo's very talented. You might have learned.
You weren't romantically linked, were you?
No, he's not my type. Ugly motherfucker.
That's high tiefling. Alright, well, if it's okay with Dent, well, Dent's staying here. If it's okay with Dent and Zunis, I will take you up on your deal. Let's go find Ivo.
I have a question,
Mm.
DM, not for this
Karna.
Karna.
Because my voice is hurting on this one.
Well, as we all know, Dent often has bagpipes on him.
Oh.
Could Dent do a bagpipe call to Ivo that he would recognize to get him here faster? Possibly.
That's some creative thinking.
It's a real stretch, but it seems like we're just talking about if he could be here.
Well, I don't know where Ivo has taken the airship. Also, the airship would likely be at least a mile or two away.
Probably too far. Okay. It just seems silly to keep talking about it rather than
Yeah,
getting
it
him.
seems real silly that someone said you should come to the building and then he flew off. So
I have to, out of game for a sec, I have to give Ivo props for that, because that was very, like the things that Clayton knew, he used what Ivo knew.
yeah,
So
he played it perfect. I'm about it. Just now you're in this predicament. You got to figure out how to get out of it. This is the fun part of D&D. You guys just have to figure out what to do here. I don't know what to do, so you got to do it.
okay, well, I'm fine with going with Pruna, whatever her name is.
Karna?
Karna.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna follow your lead.
Yeah, and Den's gonna stay here with his brother.
I'm gonna stay here and rest.
All right.
He needs a charging cable.
So Karna walks out. As you open the door, you do see there are, in fact, about 70 plus guards outside just waiting. They all have swords drawn. They look like they're about to attack. They see Karna escorting you, and she kind of like grunts them off. They all kind of just in formation run off. You get the sense the best of the best guards are clearly around in this particular area. Karna walks outside of Crown Keep. More guards kind of follow in suit. She's waving people over. You notice Captain Yao is also in pursuit with her as well. Brief discussion kind of ensues between them. And they both now are there. So Captain Yao and Karna, as long as with you, alongside about 15 other Lordless Crown mercenaries and about 5 or 6 Warforged. They all go to the Winter's Breath dock, which is kind of near the far end. Board Karna's ship, which is just decked out in all kinds of, brutal regalia. There's like teeth and bones and red paint all over it. This thing looks pretty vicious. The symbol of the Lordless Crown has been painted, instead of in white, has been painted in black and red on one of the sails. And she just kind of orders her pilot to set sail with the airship and kind of do a patrol of Mirabar. The good news is Mirabar is a relatively small island. It's really only about 40 miles, 60 miles across completely. And at its that's its width, at its length. At its width, it's only maybe about 20 miles. So it's a really thin strip of island. So you guys can circumnavigate it, probably within a day or two if you stop. It's not too tough. But she kind of looks at all of you for some direction and goes, "So, where do we fucking go from here?"
I feel like I must be missing something about an easy way to ping him. Let me see what I have.
What did we do when we tried to contact a bunch of people at once?
Well, I have the sending stone, but that only goes to Torm. We sent smoke to the other people.
Could Torm do it?
Oh yeah, do they have like a radar on the airship? Good idea.
No, not really.
You could build a huge fire. I don't know. Rowena's got very analog stuff. I don't have any.
Yeah, I mean, we have they have an airship, and we have our wit.
I want to check one quick thing.
Yeah, I'll check my D&D.
I have shards of crystal.
I've got a bagpipe.
I know. I'm constantly like, I have a backpack.
What do the shards of crystal do?
Zunis gets on his knees and prays to Helm. Helm, I know it's been a minute since I've summoned your powers, but we're in a real predicament here. And I'm taking a leap of faith. And blessed, O Lord, please bring us my friend Ivo.
Roll a
religion check.
Yes, please.
Yes, please. Just about real life numbers.
So as you pray to Helm, all of a sudden the air kind of around you turns frigid cold. And then for a moment you smell like salty, briny water, and trees and grass. And it's almost like this image of Helm, or this commune with Helm, seems to be intercepted by another god. But as you do that, you hear a voice in your head. And you hear, "Hey, where are you guys?" This is Thad, by the way.
Nice.
I woke up and Ivo said Captain Yao kidnapped you? Fucking nuts.
They dropped us off there, but
Dude, this is amazing.
Thad is the only one who has this spell.
We're like in the Morgul area, sort of in the southeast corner of Mirabar. In the castle area with Karna. He's one of the main figureheads here. That makes sense.
You don't know. There's no additional response. You get the sense you've used this spell before. It's actually how you rallied the troops last time. So you know that you can send a message to someone, and then you can immediately send it back, and that's about it. So your message has been sent. So you've told Ivo Atal where you are. So kind of up to you what you want to do now.
I collapse back on my knees and say, "Thank you so much, Helm. Please make certain that Ivo and Lilu and Thad receive that message."
You guys doing anything else? You're gonna wait here.
thinking about Sinesta's on there too, and I feel like she and I should have some sisterly bond.
Well, we're gonna slash back to the airship. Ivo, you just heard Thad kind of like talk out loud to the sky for whatever reason, as he like groggily stepped up onto the deck, and he goes, "Hey, Zunas said he was with Karna, and something about they're near a place in the place. I don't know. I'm drunk still, and also, I think we should probably go there." Yeah.
But go. You didn't say anything of a location. Where would we go?
I don't know. They said they were in like Mogul. Maybe there's a business person around.
Yeah, we know they're in Mongol. That's not news. That go. We need you. Go drink some. There was some coffee down in the galley. Go sober up.
Fine, I'll send another one. Jesus Christ. He goes down. You see him like take some coffee. You also see before he goes, he takes another swig of his flask. Thought I was on fucking vacation. It was a cruise ship, I thought. He helps down. Zunis, you hear another message. "Hey, Zuni, Thad again." There's only a certain number of words he can use. Thad again. Repeat, where are you? And should we come? You can reply.
Hold on.
Communicating with my partner to be as efficient and effective as possible.
Wait, DM, exactly where are we in Morgul again?
You just got to the docks and maybe headed just a little bit like to the east. So you're still pretty close by, no more than maybe a half mile away from the cliff face.
East of the docks. Half from the cliff face.
DM, it's morning, right? It's not.
Yeah, now it's morning.
Hold on.
And do I have a limited amount of words as well?
25.
Okay.
5,
6, 7,
I want to make sure.
13, 14. $19. What's this woman's name?
Karna?
Karna, thank you. 40.
He knows Karna. So.
Okay, I think that's. Yeah.
We're at Morgul Docks, half mile from Cliff Face. All is safe, but you must come at once. alliance with Karna to kill Voldru.
Thad kind of stumbles back up to the ship. Hey, I really think we should go.
Go where?
Don't forget again.
They said they were at Morgul Docks. Karna and them wanted to form an alliance to kill Voldu, that Voldu guy, the butcher guy. Yeah. So they said you should come there to meet Karna.
Was that it? Anything else?
Stop wanting more.
Listen, I've got one more 3rd level spell slot I can burn for the day, so if I need to do this or we need to like go fight, it's up to you. I can do this all day though.
No, that's fine. That's you've done well, Thad. I still need you to sober up some more, okay? I need to go down and get more coffee.
Okay, the coffee's old here. Next time we stop, can we stock up? Trina
Yes,
likes
yeah.
that like bullshit coffee house coffee. It's not good.
Yeah, we'll find some.
Coffee house is a thing in this world.
Yeah, we'll get some coffee house coffee.
Yeah, it's not great. Whatever. Senes and I are hanging out.
All right. Yeah.
She's cool.
Okay. Don't get any ideas, but okay, you're good.
Way too young for me, man. Way too young. That's weird. It's fucking weird. Kind of just like steps back down. You, I assume, are piloting the airship back towards Morgul?
Well, so I'm assuming that on my discretion, I kind of told Lilu to just basically like get away, and so we kind of like sailed away from it. So, knowing, let me ask you, DM, does knowing this is his birth city or birth island, really, do I have an extensive knowledge of any secret passages into the city?
Roll a history check. No. It is well fortified.
So they said they were at, I guess, Winter's Breath or near it, right? There was some dock they said they were at?
Yeah, so if you look at the docks, all the docks basically are just known as the Winter's Breath docks because they face the cliff face down there. They're about a half mile to the east of there. Out over the void, basically.
Shoot. Lilu, what do you think? It's Zunis would only, Zunis and Thad have a good connection, and they would have to be torturing Zunis immensely for him to reveal that he has this ability to connect and to communicate with Thad. What do you think? Should we trust it, or are you skeptical?
I have 2 questions.
Okay.
1, is Thad always drunk?
Most of the time.
Okay.
This is not uncommon.
And 2, if he's always drunk, he knows how Zunis would react under pressure. So if he sensed pressure, wouldn't he be able to?
This is true. But something still, the fact that Yao is with them still is concerning. And it makes me think that knowing Yao and knowing that the other people there with him, they're quite clever in their tactics. So part of me is still a little concerned here.
Do you think it's better to do nothing and just hover, or go help them?
No, either way. And I wish I could have remembered some hidden passages into the city because I would have really helped out at this moment. But we definitely need to help them. I just wonder, the issue, I feel very conflicted because I think either way I need to help them, but I don't want to necessarily bring Marina's sister into the situation as well, and if it is dangerous to bring her into it.
I have a question. for
Mhm.
DM. Is there a way for us to sneak into the city even though he doesn't know of any secret passageways?
It'd be pretty hard.
Okay.
I mean, you're essentially talking about that river.
Yeah, and Ivo
don't have a boat.
would know this really well about Morgul. Like it's built to be impenetrable.
DM, I was out of the room, so maybe I'm off base here, but couldn't he roll a history check like I've done with Wadap and maybe come up with something?
Yeah, he rolled real poorly.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Do so I guess part of me, DM, do I recall of having any close friends or allies in Morgul, or like maybe even so Lurkfield? Is that just a little terrain, or is that an actual city?
Lurkfield isn't really a city or a town. Like there's like small villages and gatherings of houses, but it's really more just a specific terrain place. It's usually used a lot as like one of the few places for grazing, for like some of the animals and livestock to go. Often, like, you know, farmers go out there and do it. There are some like small villages there, not anything more than like 20 homes clustered together.
Gotcha.
As far as friends in Morgul, you had lots of friends in Morgul at one point in time, but they all hate you now because you abandoned them and left the mercenaries.
Okay, let's do this. Does the airship have any sort of, imagine like, telescope or anything to see far distance?
Yeah, it's got a couple that Trina would have built on there for sure.
So I guess I will, seeing Lulu, if you don't have any other, feel strongly against it, let's start to head in that direction but keep our distance, and as we get closer I'd like to try to look down at the dock where they say they're at to see if I can really see them and see what's going on. But keep your distance as you fly.
So Lilu, roll a d20. We're going to add that proficiency bonus to it again. That's a +3. And I will have you roll a perception check.
Have me roll one?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so 16. Lila, you feel pretty confident you're able to keep your distance and fly that ship well through the clouds, so it's pretty hard to spot. Ivo, you can see the airship in the distance, but you can't see anything else but that.
Oh, so they're on the... That's right, they're on the airship.
Yeah, you can see Karna's airship pretty clearly. It's very easily marked. You feel pretty confident they haven't been able to spot you with Lilu's like really solid flying, but you're not able to see really much on the deck.
Okay.
By the way, did you roll that at an advantage?
Oh, me?
Mm-hmm.
No, I did not.
Yeah, you should because you have the eagle eyes.
No, I give him to Rowena.
Oh, that's right. Yep. Sucks to suck.
Yeah, it sucks to be honest in that moment.
What did he get?
The eagle eyes.
Yeah.
Are there any other airships around her ship?
So far, you only see that one.
Okay. Well, I can't really tell what's going on. Lilu, can you take us in a little bit closer, slow and steady, but be ready to gun it if they start firing on us?
So you start kind of bringing the ship in closer. You see on the opposite dock as you get, 100 yards out, 50 yards out, 30 yards out. Now you're almost like side by side, kind of level with them. You see on the opposite deck a very familiar, burly-looking half-orc woman with a giant great axe that you remember is named Betsy, which has taken a couple swings at you in the past. Next to her is a bearded, slightly pirate-esque man that you recognize to be Captain Yao. And your comrades are with him as well. Unchained, seemingly fine, no real concerns. And about 20 plus other crew members and fighting crowdsmen as you pull up. Karna sees you from the other side and goes, well, fucking took you a while, didn't it?
What do you mean?
She just rolls her eyes and goes, "You were supposed to be here first. That's what Yao McGee over here said. If we sent you that letter."
Well, you can't ever trust Yao. You should know that.
I do know that. I guess I should have learned not to trust you either.
Well, I'm here now. What are you doing with my friends?
Not doing anything with your friends. They came to me.
And then I'll kind of like nod over to Zunis, Rowena, and Dent, and be like, "Oh wait, Dent's still at the dock, right? It's just Rowena and or the castle." Just be like, "Are you guys okay? What? Are you all right?"
Yeah, we're totally fine. We got the information that you asked for. We know that Voldru's at Raven's Rock. Karna has a major beef with him, so I told her, in an attempt to get her to be more understanding of us and to help us find you, I told her that maybe we would help her kill Voldru.
Well, I already want to kill Voldru, so that's not that bad. But what's in it for Karna?
There's some whole schism, some whole coup going on.
Karna, what do you want me for?
She kind of like tisks a bit. I need someone who knows a little bit more of the Lordless to put a stop to this. And there's a way I have in mind, but it's sensitive information.
Like, you can't tell me, or you don't want to say it in front of everyone?
The last one.
Why don't you come over here and talk to me about it?
You know that's not how this is going to work.
Alright. Well, I guess then I can stand down, so to speak, as long as Rowena and Zunis say that everything's okay. Where's Dent, by the way? What have they done with him?
He had to charge. Overnight. He got lost, and he lost his charge. And then he wanted to commune with his Warforged brethren.
Did he disguise himself as any weird people? Or any
Yeah!
Matter
What
of
a
fact,
coincidence! He disguised himself as you, but Karna didn't buy it for a second
It
because
didn't work out. I'm not surprised at all.
we don't know your last name.
I know his last name.
Is it Andrew?
It's Margaret.
Margaret.
Yeah.
Just her.
All right. It seems like it's okay. I was a little concerned. I didn't feel like it was. I felt like knowing Yao was in the mix, that there might be a potential issue and might be a trick that he had captured you and was torturing you and was trying to bring me in by sending the Warforge. So I have your sister to look after too, so I was hesitant to do it.
No, that's okay. I really appreciate that thoroughness. Where's my sister, by the way? Is she with them?
She's down with Thad. Nothing weird is happening. He's reassured me.
We've been talking to Thad, as you know.
Yeah, Thad said he got the message. It helped convince me that everything might be okay. All right, Karna, what's the next move?
Well, we can do this here. You can come aboard, or we can talk in my quarters. Your friends are welcome to be with you. I can understand the concern there. Or we can go back to Crown's Keep and do that there. Either way, I have information for you, and I need you to use it.
Let's do this in the air. I'll come over to that ship, and I turn to Truna and just be like, "Bring me over," but kind of idle nearby.
Okay. So Lilu kind of holds it. You walk aboard, and Karna kind of positions, to go over to her captain's quarters or to her master's quarters. All of you kind of get in there together, and she kind of sits all of you down, and she goes, "I know how to get to Raven's Rock without him knowing."
to Valdru?
And how do we do that?
You're not gonna like it, but it's the only way that doesn't go through Spine's Gate. I'm certain he's got that place pretty heavily fortified. You could try it if you're more of the frontal assault person, but I'm sure he's got it trapped, and most of his men are probably expecting more of it. Knowing Valdru, I don't know if he knows about the Worm King caverns that lead through that way, but that would certainly lead to some trouble. And for you, you know what Worms King caverns are. They're really like an ancient cave system that lead underneath. It definitely has a dangerous reputation. People get lost in there and die, don't ever come back all the time. What's also odd is Mirabar is like one of the few islands that actually has earthquakes, which is weird because there's no geothermal activity in any of the islands. Like there's no crust or mantle to cause earthquakes. They're infrequent, but they happen. And rumor is that the earthquakes stem from what happens in the Great Worm Caverns. Karna kind of continues that there is a secret entrance that goes through Great Worm Caverns and goes into the bowels of the Raven's Rock kind of fortress that would lead you perhaps behind enemy lines. But she doesn't know what you'll face down there, and she's a little concerned that there is a possibility Valdru might know about it as well. She just doesn't know.
Has Ivo ever been down there?
As a kid, you would like go down there and like test your mettle, like, you know how kids kind of like, I'm gonna go jump this crick and like show off, or like go a little bit into a cave to like prove that you're not scared, then like run back out real quick. So you have. You remember that when you were down there, you did hear some like freaky ass noises that are there, and she kind of like, you know, you could see there's still something on her face that's a concern.
Mm-hmm. Do I know, and is there any like folklore around it of like magic or just like demons or creatures?
Well, it's called Worm King Cavern for a reason. Whoever the Worm King is, I guess, fucking lives down there. That's obviously all kids bullshit. It's probably just some crazy fucking animal or some nonsense. You know.
All right.
But
so
one.
What's your plan to take a bunch of men and go through the Worm King caverns to attack him?
It's an option. There's gonna be maybe one small problem with this plan that I already know you're not gonna be super thrilled by. You're gonna have to go through New Blackford.
What do you mean? You mean travel through it?
It's the only way to get there.
We have airships. Why can't we just go around?
Yeah. I feel like you might have run into some of Valdru's new friends.
The pirates.
Yeah.
And the other thief. What's the other thief's guild?
Yeah, the Coromir.
Boromir.
I don't know what they're doing around New Blackford, but I've seen their ships around there the whole time. Only way you're going to get through is over land. There's only one good crossing.
All right. Well, what if... So how many men are you bringing with?
You could take Yao.
I don't want Yao.
You could take Yao.
What if I don't want Yao?
Then I guess however many you bring is however many you bring.
So you're not going to send any of the Warforged with us?
No. I clearly need them to defend the city. If Valdru sees I send a contingent out, he'll strike.
So you're imagining that we go very stealthily across the land through New Blackford into the Worm King caverns.
That's one suggestion. I'm willing to give you a contingent of the Warforged and some other crownsmen if you want to take the more frontal assault and just go down through Spine Gate and go right up the middle of the fucker. But that's gonna, I don't know. That would certainly be a more aggressive idea.
What if instead you send some Warforge into the Spine Gate while as a distraction while we go through the Worm King Caverns?
Roll a persuasion check.
Fuck, we can do another one. Ah.
No, I don't think that's going to be the right call. If you go with them, I'll let them have your back, but I'm not going to send them there just to get slaughtered. I need the men.
All right. All right. Well then, sounds like this has to be done. I have my own doings with Valdrew. It makes sense that Spine's Gate would be heavily guarded. I don't think a frontal assault would be advantageous. I think it's much better going through the Worm King's Cavern. Do I have your word I can leave my airship here in safety?
Sure. All right, I promise. Fuck, fine.
All right. Or is there any additional supplies you can spare? We would appreciate it as well.
I can make sure you have what you need, stock up on supplies, give you a place to rest before you go. If you need horses or other types of mounts to get there a little quicker, I can probably give you that. But other than that, I don't know what else I'd have to really help you with.
Fair enough. Last question. After we've done this and we've defeated Valdrew, what? Just so we're clear, I don't owe you anything else. There's no reason to keep me here.
If you don't die,
Yes.
I'll make sure none of the lordless keep trying to kill you.
That's all I ask. It's fair enough.
And as you she gets up and kind of turns to go and walk out. And before she kind of leaves the cabin there, she kind of turns around and she looks back and she goes, Ivo, you know the butcher. He's a brutal son of a bitch, but he's smart too. Don't underestimate him. And she just walks out. And that's where we'll end the mission tonight, friends.